Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello. My name is Loey. I am so very excited that today's video is sponsored by Webtoon. And Webtoon offers hundreds of comics that are creator-owned on their website and apps, which you can get on iOS or Android for free. If you guys know anything about me, you know that I love a good scary story. I love reading them with you guys. I love reading them on my own. I'm always on the go, always in a car, on a plane, doing something crazy. And I'm always on the market to find new and interesting stories, whether they are scary or just funny or anything really. I just like to be entertained in my day-to-day life. I know most of you here on my channel enjoy a good scary story from time to time, but if that's not really your jam, they also offer tons of other types of stories, from comedy to drama to romance. You name it, there is a comic and a story on Webtoon for it. You can also download the stories so you can read them offline. You can subscribe to your favorite stories and get notifications when they come out with new chapters or installments or whatever you want to call it. It is really such a cool app. So today I thought I would read a new comic alongside you guys. One of my other favorites is Ghost Teller, but I just read that story, so I thought that I would start something new with you guys today. Don't forget that if you guys want to read along with me, you can download the Webtoon app using the link down below. You can read the stories on your web browser on iOS or Android devices. So today we are going to be reading The Vault of Horror, a collection of nightmares. Which sounds pretty appealing, right? One of the cool things about Webtoon is before you even read the story, you can read a brief summary as well as see whether or not it is currently in progress or completed. This story is completed and the summary is as follows. In the mood for a scare? You've come to the right place. Welcome to a world of nightmares and terror, created by the masters of horror at LoeyLane Webtoon. Enter at your own risk. So let's begin with chapter 1. The following is a work of fiction. This work contains scenes which may be disturbing for some readers, so those with weak hearts are advised not to read on. A new email. I'm terrified to open it, because I know that there's something very wrong with it. The Vault of Horror, a collection of nightmares. Research. Mid-May 2011. Junho and I were preparing for a special summer horror comic for Naver. Junho was writing the story and I was doing the artwork. Junho went on to do some research on a place he wanted to use for a story. It was an old abandoned hospital somewhere, and I'll just kind of let these scenes speak for themselves. That's pretty freaky. Help! Ugh. He was probably hoping to surprise readers with this. It looks like the overall structure is pretty much set, but when I actually draw it out, it's not very scary. If Junho's having trouble coming up with a good scenario, then maybe I should try to think of something. Oh, it's him. Hey, out doing research? How's it going? Think we've got a good story for our horror comic? I've been looking around, but I haven't found anything too exciting yet. But now that I'm here, I'm sure I'll be able to think of something. We'll just have to wait a bit longer. Anyway, the signal in here isn't very good, so it's not easy to call you. Even now, I was just barely able to find a signal. I'm surprised. I figured there were antennas all over the place. I never thought there'd be a place in Korea where phones don't work. Well, if you have trouble calling, just text me any ideas you get. I'll email you any good ideas or materials that I find, too. Cool. Sounds good. But hey, when do you think you'll be back? I'm still not... Hello? Junho? I cut him off. Looks like the signal really is bad. 2:27 a.m.? Where the heck is he at this time of night? A few days later, I got an email from Junho. I attached some pictures for you, so check them out. This seems to be a pretty famous abandoned hospital. They say it's because a lot of patients died or went insane for no reason. Rumors say that doctors used to drill holes in patients' heads and do some kind of weird experiments. And since it closed down, apparently anyone who came here out of curiosity either died from strange diseases or went missing. There are a lot of these kinds of stories. They've tried summoning shamans to cleanse the place, but they always pass out during the ceremony, so nobody comes around here anymore. I'm trying to tell myself that they're just stories, but Being here gives me the creeps. I got a strange feeling after looking at the email and the attached pictures. I tried calling Junho, but I just couldn't get through to him. Now that I think back on it, maybe it wasn't that he wouldn't answer. Maybe he couldn't answer. The next night, I got another email. There was nothing written in the second email. There was just what looked like a picture of the dark interior of the abandoned hospital. The rusty old operating tables looked more like torture racks, and there were all kinds of tools and bits of things scattered on the ground. I kept expecting someone to jump out at me from one of the doors lining this seemingly endless hallway. The last picture in particular really disturbed me. It was just a shot of pitch black. I couldn't make out a thing, but it wasn't just normal darkness. I could definitely see the shape of something lurking in the dark. I kept trying to call Junho, but I couldn't reach him for several days. Whenever I called him, I could just hear a faint buzzing sound in the background. It was the kind of sound an old squeaky machine might make if it needed some oil. And then finally, I got a third email from him. Strange, he sent me an email, but he won't pick up his phone. I decided to think about that later and just open the email for now. What the? It was just a jumbled mess of words and letters. Maybe it's some kind of internet or computer problem? Or maybe he's trying to mess with me. He hasn't lost his mind going to that hospital, has he? I ignored my anxieties and opened the attached picture. In the first picture, there was someone laying on the dark operating table, and beside that, there was a doctor in an operating gown. In the next picture, the doctor had turned his head and seemed to be glaring at the camera. In the pale doctor's hand, there was a surgical drill. Those cold eyes seemed to be gazing at me right through the monitor. It was only when I tore my eyes away from his and directed them to the person on the table that I saw something really unnerving. The shoes and clothes of the person laying on the table were Junho's. I reported it to the police, but they still haven't found him. There isn't a single trace of evidence in the hospital that Junho was ever even there. I keep remembering that doctor's face. I'm afraid that Junho's going to suddenly call me. Thankfully, he still hasn't. But I got another email. I'm terrified to open it because I know that there's something very wrong with it. As if possessed, my hand took on a life of its own and clicked the attached picture. It was just a shot of pure darkness. It was so dark, it looked like the monitor had shut off. The dark monitor was like a mirror reflecting my face. And then I saw the doctor standing behind me, staring at me. Sir, today's the deadline for the special horror comic, but we still haven't heard from the author or artist. Did they say they were going to be late? I'm not sure. I tried calling them yesterday, but all I could hear was this weird buzzing sound. Should I try again? The author just sent me a copy of the comic. The title is The Vault of Horror, a collection of nightmares. Research. Yikes. There's something about these stories and the fact that you kind of just have to keep scrolling, knowing, especially when you read a horror story, that something crazy is about to happen and you still just walk willingly right into it. That story freaked me out so bad, especially since it literally was about like an author and an artist writing a comic, and then, I mean, you guys get it. You were there at the end. I was so drawn to this story and I hope you guys enjoyed my reading of it. If you guys want to read the next part of this story, and there are so many parts, it is completed and it's super highly rated. You can once again download Webtoon today on iOS or Android in the App Store. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you so much to Webtoon for sponsoring today's video. If you all enjoyed, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Thank you again to Webtoon for sponsoring today's video. I had so much fun reading this story with you guys. I will definitely be checking out more of these stories, and I hope you guys do as well.